I'm Jake Sanderson.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
You're Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are listening to the Postcast, presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and, of course, the Glebe Central Pub. Make sure to check out the Glebe Central Pub at 779 Bank Street. Let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. And when you go on a game day, let them know LOSB sent you and get 10% off your order. One of the best parts about tonight's game was all the great content we got from the bus, from Jack Richardson, from our guy Drew out in Halifax. It is a vibe, and unfortunately, Sens fans are leaving the CTC after a fifth straight loss. The Senators fall 4-3 to the Vancouver Canucks. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Pillar. Lalime's Martian was boots on the ground. We'll get his report in just a few moments. We'll also be joined later on by the co-host of Locked On Canucks. It will be Kyle Bowen jumping on the program. Pilsy, I have an idea for this postcast before we get your thoughts on the game. Are you cool to hear an idea?
I love ideas, Ross.
Why don't we suck for the first 55 minutes, then put on a great finish, and people will be like, wow, maybe the show wasn't so bad after all.
This team is just pathetic, Ross. I mean, I don't know. You could not have had a win handed to you on a bigger platter than tonight. Like, no Besser, no JT Miller, no Thatcher Demko, and then early into the game, Quinn Hughes gets a 5-minute major. So that's their best player, their captain, in the penalty box for 5 minutes. He's
not even in the penalty box.
He's gone the entire rest of the game. Early on, the Senators do nothing on a 5-minute major, and they're not able to capitalize on the Vancouver Canucks having 5 defensemen all night. Sure, it ends up being a 4-3 game. I've never been less excited about the Senators scoring goals and almost making a comeback than I was tonight. It was just pure. I was just completely numb. Like I didn't even crack a small dimple raise of a smile for any of those goals because I knew there was a 0% chance this team tied it up, let alone win. Imagine this team winning, and then Brady Tkachuk just goes completely unhinged. Sure, great tilt, and we love seeing Brady at least show some emotion, but at this point, it's just we're so used to just watching Brady have an emotional outburst, a tantrum like a toddler when he's losing. And then Timmy can't even hold it together. He has a similar tantrum. Nick Cousins is out there getting 2 penalties on the same shift. This team is a joke. I don't know where we go from here.
It makes absolutely no sense. Well, it does actually. It makes all the sense because we've seen this story before. I tell my wife at 4-1, they're going to make it 4-3 and lose anyways. And sure enough, she's like, wow, they just scored again with 43 seconds left to make it a 1-goal game. Tim Stützle, 100th career goal.
Nope.
I mean, he was buzzing again. I mean, he's the one guy, he's showing emotion. It's kind of wild they didn't give him a fight for that. They gave him a 2-minute roughing penalty.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he didn't. I mean, that's just the refs feeling bad. They're just like, if Timmy's gone the rest of this game, we might as well just beer league rules, Ross, just run the clock and let's finish this up. We all got places to be.
Yeah, well, the Vancouver Canucks came to Ottawa, put a beat down after Ottawa lost to Vegas, where they didn't have Mark Stone or Alex Pietrangelo, and you already rattled off all the players the Canucks didn't have in tonight's game. Once again, the Senators lose when out-shooting their opponents 29-21 tonight. Ottawa goes 2 for 3 on the power play. The Canucks go 1 for 6. Sens have a 65.5% advantage in the faceoff dot. 19 blocks for Vancouver, 7 for the Ottawa Senators. Vancouver out-hits Ottawa 37-36, and the expected goals 59% in favor of Vancouver. The chat wants to know, where do you go from here, Pilsy? I don't really have a good answer.
That was my just last thought, is where do you go from here, Ross? Because this team has a lot of players locked up. The core is locked up. the only tradable pieces they have, you're not going to get better if you trade them away, like a Drake Batherson, like a Claude Giroux. I don't know, like anybody with value. If you trade them away, you're not making this team better. This team is so bad. The idea of using draft picks to try to get better would just be digging this team in a worse hole and repeating the same patterns that they've done for the last 3 years. They're going to lose a first round pick to the NHL this draft or next draft when they need those first round picks more than anything. But this team can't really draft any good players outside the top 9 picks they get anyways. I don't know where you go from here. Honestly, I think the players got to eat this one. New owner, new management, new coach. They're building a new rink. They're trying everything new. It's on the players at this point. Like, you cannot go anywhere else. I know a lot of the fan base is frustrated, and some people are going crazy saying, take the C from Brady, trade Brady. That's absolute garbage. I'm not hopping on that train. But at this point, you got to let the players they got to figure it out for themselves. They have to figure it out internally, because everything has been done to try to support this group to make it work, and they can't make it work. And if you can't make it work on games where the advantages are so heavily in your favor and other teams just show up that are hungrier than you, even though they don't need it and they're not as desperate as you, they don't deserve help. Like, that's one of those things, Ross, where you see general managers close to the trade deadline and they say, do we make the push this year or not? The guys deserve it. Let's get them some reinforcements because we've got a group we believe in. That is not this group, clearly.
No, it's not. And I appreciate everybody for chiming in the chat. Sens Burner, really appreciate the taps in the guitar case. Means a lot to us. And I agree with him. He says, don't run Brady out of town. I think, and I co-signed it. Uli Sens on Twitter tweeted out just saying, look, they being Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle, they're the 2 most effective forwards on this team. And can they be better? I think more that towards Brady. Timmy's been just phenomenal in all aspects of the game. I think that he's never going to be the fastest guy, Brady, so he's easy to pick out when he's moving not as fast, or maybe there's a back check you want a little bit faster, that sort of thing. But what he brings is so unique, and his intangibles also translate to points. This guy did get Ottawa's first goal tonight to tie the game at 1. It's just, you can see the frustration building within him, and it's showing earlier on in the game. I know he snapped in the third period there, but it was happening earlier on with Noah Juleson at the end of the second period. He takes a penalty. So I'm a Sens Burner. It's about how do you get players around them that have not only the same will to win, but the ability to put the puck in the net. Giroux scores his first goal in 12 games tonight. Michael Amadio had those 2 games where he scored in back-to-back games. Oh, would you look at that? The Senators won both of those games. Otherwise, he's been the invisible man out there. Nick Cousins has been a net negative and then some this season.
They got to bench him next game. Like, you can't be doing that.
Can't.
He's got to sit for a game.
They got so lucky they didn't get scored on that 5-on-3.
And honestly, Ross, not only was I not excited about those goals, it pissed me off, because then you look at the box score. Like, if people are friends overseas, don't get to watch the whole game, they see a 4-3 box score, they see the goal scored late, and they think, oh man, they must have made a push, must have made it close. No, I never for a second did I think this team was going to pull through. I don't know where they go from here, because you're now 8-11-1. You're 3-7-1 in November. Like, this is going to be damn close to rivaling the 1-10-1 November from years past. Like, we thought, Ross, we were talking about trying to get close to 500. That's a joke. This team can't even smell 500. They're in the basement of the league yet again. And I don't know. I feel like I'm unraveling here, because it feels like this team's going to be out of playoff contention yet again before we're even done with the second month of the season.
Yeah, we've got a nice, like, good cop, bad cop going on here. I love the passion. Chat loves the passion too. Appreciate everybody for being here after each and every Senators game. Full disclosure, I've got the worst migraine I've had in a long time. I am grinding through this.
Warrior.
The absolute, like, no nonchalant effort is what I'll say. There was about 9 forwards and 6 defensemen tonight that underperformed for me. And it's impossible. And you look, and it's another brutal save percentage for Linus Ullmark. This isn't a goalie loss for me. This was just overall, the team just didn't want it. I put it in the thumbnail. They stopped short. Again, always it feels like this team gets close and then they get this mental block. I honestly think that it's mental more than anything in this game. They tie it up and then right away after take a penalty and all of a sudden they're down in the game once again.
It's a mental thing for sure, Ross. Like the Ottawa Senators are in a mental pretzel right now when it comes to the month of November. The, oh no, here we go again is certainly what's going on with this fan base. It seems like it's what's going on with the team. Travis Green talked about it when they were down 2-0 in the last game. And look, I want to be an Ullmark supporter as much as I can, but he doesn't give you that confidence that he's going to make the big saves. If you can see behind me, my Ullmark jersey is down. I ripped it down. I put the Belleville jersey up. I didn't even put another Ottawa Senators jersey up because I can't bear it. We're in a tough state here. And usually I'm not the one unraveling, Ross. Usually I'm the one trying to calm you down from these types of losses, but I don't have answers tonight. I don't have positivity because, like, just to get back to 500, this team can't win 3 games in a row. Just to get back to 500. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
4-3, the final score. Senators lose to the Vancouver Canucks. And now to unravel what he saw tonight, boots on the ground from @Lalime's Martian. I'll start with the good. Your mustache is coming in very nice. Can't believe you started that on November 1st.
Leave the mustache alone. That's not what we're here to talk about.
What are we here to talk about?
The Ottawa Senators are not a good team. We're in big trouble, boys.
I thought you were waiting till the 25 game mark.
I've changed my mind.
Yep.
I tweeted it out. I've changed my mind. They're not a good team. I don't believe in them anymore. We're done. We're cooked. This team is crap. I've seen enough.
Martian, how'd you like you tweeted out that this is the closest you've ever been to the ice? How'd you see the boys from that close?
I didn't say closest I've ever been in the ice. I said, Pillsy, best seats I've ever had. Best
gotcha. Sorry.
I watched this game start to finish from a great spot tonight, and it would have been amazing to see the Sens win a game from there. But let me tell you, Pills, they looked like crap the entire night. Like, I'm telling you, all the big boys who were expecting to be players for this team did not show up. Guys who were brought in who are supposed to be supportive, veterans who are supposed to come in here and make this team better, they made the team worse tonight. Guys,
I think when they brought them in, they called them winners.
Who?
Well, Nick Cousins, Michael Amadio, David Perron.
Yeah, I mean, they won cups.
Not here.
Guys, this team is I feel so okay. This is the furthest I've gone, and I'm the me, right? I'm the eternal optimist. I see this team right now. I'm looking at this core. I'm looking at the players who are around them and the way they're playing. They're not it.
They're not it. And Anthony points it out. Martian, I don't know if you saw my tweet. I know you're coming back from the game.
Wilsey, where's the panic button? Pull it out.
I've got it here. I'm not saying I'm not pressing it. I'm just saying I don't. Ross, go ahead.
If they lose Monday,
doesn't matter.
If they lose Monday, you are smashing that thing. There's no way around it.
Doesn't matter about Monday. I've seen what I've seen. I've seen enough. You hit that thing now.
I can't hit it now with Kyle from Locked On Canucks about to come on and witness this whole debacle. I can't do it yet, but it's happening. Like what, Martian, when you and I can't even stand up for this team and spin zone things into positivity, we're in trouble here.
Anthony B, 1 second. Let me get this stat in here for Anthony B, because I tweeted this out at Send Central. The Ottawa Senators' last lead was with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in the game they blew against the Philadelphia Flyers. 6 minutes and 45 seconds left 5 games ago. The Ottawa Senators have not led in a game for 250 minutes of hockey. 250 minutes, not even a 1-0 lead in the first period. It has been one of the most pathetic stretches of Senators hockey I've ever seen. And Pilsy, we watched every game during the 2017-18 season, the 18-19 season, and the 19-20, which were some of the worst hockey games. The Ottawa Senators had Eric Bergdorfer, no disrespect. They had Justin Falk, no, not that one. They had some of the most replacement-level players in the lineup back then. Oscar Lindbergh, Max McCormick, Ben Harper, all like some of the players that were on those
Ottawa
teams.
Senators hockey, they're not playing Ottawa Senators hockey. Ottawa Senators
Ryan Gibbons
is gritty, hard. We play hard. No matter, we're outskilled a lot of the time. Like historically, the Ottawa Senators have not had the most skilled teams ever. They're supposed to have these guys who are like super skilled players who are like performing. Where the hell are all these guys, dude?
They're healthy and they're on the ice.
They're there, but they're not playing. It's insane. I've seen enough to see that this core needs a major surgery. It's tough. It's tough to say. I have to say it.
No, I'm on the opposite side, Martian.
I'm completely.
You're giving the players an out if they do a major surgery. They got to eat this because we talked about it. New owner, new GM, new coaching staff. They've changed everything. The players got to eat this. If they trade any guys away, it's only going to make the team worse. They cannot use draft picks to try to bring in more guys. They've bungled that time after time after time after time. They got to let these players eat it.
It's not about that. At this point, it's about sending a message to this group to say, none of you guys are really safe. Even though you all have these big long-term contracts that are all this money, all this, these guys should be giving it their all and playing way better than they are. The fact that they're not performing within their contracts right now, none of them should be safe.
Well, Tim Stützle is the safest.
Well, I mean, that's the one guy. That's
no,
one
you
guy.
just said nobody.
Yeah, but we all know that Timmy's the only guy who's playing right now.
Nobody means nobody. No man left behind.
You did say nobody, emphatically.
I did say nobody, but unless you're sure. You guys are on the same page as me, no? Like, literally, he's the only one who's playing.
No, Brady, I'm not trading Brady Tkachuk. I'm not getting into that garbage. I'm not rolling around in the mud.
I'm saying, wake these guys
up. So everybody except for this guy and except for this guy.
Nobody, brackets, asterisks, except Timmy and Brady.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
Sens Burner says, Christoph Schubert, you are safe. He is German as well. Hey, I said give me some rebuild Senators I need in the cast. I need to know more of these names that are escaping me. Chris DiDomenico was a good call out in the chat, but oh my God. Who was the other guy from Gabriel Dumont? We could throw his name in the mix there. Naming old Senators on bad teams, a lot more fun than talking about this game tonight. The Ottawa Senators had a 5-minute power play in the first period.
Huge.
And they had 4 shots, none of them high danger. And then Vancouver gets a power play and a point shot goes in right away.
The best shot the Sens had on that, the best opportunity the Sens had on that power play is when Vancouver fired it on their own net and Lankinen wasn't ready. That was the best opportunity.
That was really cool.
Dude, the chat is coming through. Let me just hit the chat here real quick. We got Alex Hoffman saying Marian Gaborik. Remember that era. Braden Coburn. Braden Coburn was an Ottawa Senator. Vitaly Abramov, Ole Alsing. Yeah, these are some. Oh, Randy Max Verono. That's a deep cut here from some brutal Ottawa Senators teams. Tonight it was 4-3 against the Vancouver Canucks. Feels like a lot of the conversation is becoming big picture instead of focusing on what was just an atrocious result tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to get to the co-host of Locked On Canucks, Kyle Bowen, in just a moment as well. And we know Martian's fired up. He's traded half the team in the 5 minutes since he got on here. But first, allow me to tell you about the Glebe Central Pub, because the Postcast is always brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. Without it, there is no Postcast. So make sure you support us, support the Glebe Central Pub at 779 Bank Street. And when you go, make sure to let them know that Locked On Senators sent you, because on game days, you'll get 10% off your order by mentioning Locked On Senators. Also, online, you can get your tickets, GlebeCentralPub.com, for the Senator Shuttle. I'm pulling up a photo tonight because Jack Richardson was on the shuttle. We actually had a lot of citizens on the shuttle tonight, and he said that Sue got them there in one piece. They were there before warm-up. The bus leaves an hour and 15 minutes before the game and then takes you back to the pub 15 minutes after the game ends. I mean, look at that. What a great time. And look,
Boys,
that one guy's happy at the end of the night. That one guy. Bang.
Yeah.
Glebe Central Pub, great vibes, great people. The vibes are free at the GCP. Make sure you visit them and let them know that Locked On Senators sent you.
This episode is also brought to you by our friends over at Game Time. If you guys are brave enough to go to the next Ottawa Senators game, why not save a little money doing it? And Game Time can help you. New feature called Game Time Picks makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you're not wasting time searching through thousands of tickets. Check out the all-in pricing. Turn the feature on so you can see your price up front. No surprises at checkout. Seat views, get a panoramic view from your seat in the app. Lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time.
Wah, 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 wah. Welcome back to the Postcast. I'm Ross Levitan alongside the crew, Brandon Pillar, and at Lalime's Martian. We got Kyle Bowen standing by from Locked On Canucks. But Martian, you ripped off the jersey. You didn't take off the jersey. For those listening, you ripped that thing off. How are you feeling right now?
I'm disgusted, man. I hate this team right now. I'm so upset. I've never been like this as a fan. I usually am very like level-headed and like I can handle a lot. Right now, I am very, very disgruntled as a fan. I haven't been like this in so long, Ross, where like you said, I ripped that jersey off. I just didn't want to wear it anymore. I'm almost embarrassed by it. It's sad. This team doesn't represent what I want them to represent as a team on the ice and off the ice, even right now. Like they're not doing anything for me right now. I can't handle them, Ross. I can't handle them. I can't do it.
There's a lot more emotion.
I'm having a hard time, buddy. Like I'm having a hard time right now. I feel sad. It sucks. It all sucks. Everything's bad. I don't like it.
Well, I think in a time like this, where three guys with a positive attitude, they're trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. We got to go to someone who has found the light through tough times. And that's the Vancouver Canucks.
I don't even know who this is. I don't even want to hear from this guy. Whoever this is, I don't even want to hear.
He's the best. And here he is. It's Kyle Bowen.
What's
up, Kyle? You having fun tonight?
I don't even care. Let's hear.
Well, dude, I just feel bad for you guys because I feel as if this hockey team you guys watch don't even care, man. Like, what type of effort is that on a Saturday night? Do something for the people paying to be in the arena. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys just came into the Saturday night losing a handful of games. It's a big season. Like, you don't smell the blood when Quinn Hughes is not in the lineup. Just do something. Show a little bit of effort. I feel as if you guys are actually sleeping for 50 minutes. It was like a preseason game.
Well, you mentioned you feel bad for people who paid tickets. Martian, your good friend below me, was in the rich people seats tonight, and he left a poor man in his soul. I think that's the biggest problem tonight. So as an outsider, we'll get to the Canucks part of the game and how this game happened, but like watching the Ottawa Senators tonight from your perspective, it was a lack of effort first and foremost and a bit of killer instinct or lack thereof.
Just even a lack of skill. I feel as if they were taking like their foot off the pedal way too early. Like, start with the basics, you know what I'm saying? And they weren't even trying to do that. It was alarming because I'm not gonna front, man. Like, I don't know a lot about Lalime here, but I listen to Ross and Brandon a lot. You know, they've done a lot for us on the Locked On Canucks side of things. So, you know, I stay in tabs, and I become like a bit of an Ottawa Senators fan because I want these guys to, you know, talk about fun things. You know what I'm saying? I feel for these guys straight up.
Yeah, these guys do an amazing job. Yeah, but like, dude, honestly, like early in the game, the Sens should have got a lot more shots on goal. Like that 5-minute power play that they had. If they were just like, I think they generated maybe 2 or 3 shots on goal on that power play. But that was early in the game. They should have just like kept on shooting the puck, right? Like, that's all they needed to do to like just like get the momentum on their side, and they just weren't doing it. It was so frustrating to watch from where I was sitting.
No, it was an immature effort. I feel as if they took their foot off the pedal because they're like, oh, they don't have Besser, they don't have Miller, they don't have Demko, they don't have Hughes. Now we got this. It's like, what? Nah, that's not how it gets done. And it was just an immature effort. And then if you just go all the way to the third period as well, I mean, it's a 3-goal game. It's not game over. There's still 7-8 minutes left. And, I'm a huge Brady Tkachuk fan, mainly because of these two above me. But also I've been tuning in, like I said, and he's entertaining as hell. He's one of the outliers in hockey. The league needs him. But today, I'm not even a Senators fan, and it felt old. Like seeing him just run around and get himself out of the game way too early. It just felt as if he should have let like Zach McEwen do that. And then I don't know, something just felt immature today, and that's scary. That's scary.
And that's where these two teams are different, because Vancouver has that culture where when they're down bad, they can figure things out. Like you mentioned, like all those guys out. Quinn Hughes goes down. Other guys step up. Like I think a play that perfectly kind of encapsulated this game was the 4th goal for the Canucks. Allmark makes a couple saves. 3 Senators players are right there. Loose puck right in the crease. None of them want it more than Sherwood wanted it. Sherwood was determined he was going to get that puck in the net no matter who was there, and the 3 Sens players are just looking at pennies wondering what happened. And that's the type of play where it just didn't seem like the Sens emotionally thought they were in this game anymore, and they just let it slip away.
Yeah, it's again, the Canucks have been good for 14 months. I don't want to come in here and sound like the Detroit Red Wings from the early 2000s and teach you guys about culture and winning, because the Canucks are still figuring that out as well. But at the base level, I feel as if the effort is there. And I guess they get that from guys like Miller and Besser and Hughes and Pettersson. Like they're the most skilled guys, but they work their hardest too. Like they barely take games off. But at the same time, like I don't think Tkachuk take games off. Like I just don't get why it can't bleed over to the rest of the team, where it's like every player's got to have their heart into it. Like it's just weird. It was spooky watching that game. I'm not gonna lie, because there's still a lot of season left. It's 8. You guys are 8-11-1. It's not over. Like you guys have a good. You guys have potentially you guys have a good feeling, but I think the floor is so bad because for some reason you guys are taking these games for granted. It's hard to win in the NHL. It's super hard.
We know it's over for us. This is it.
It's November. It's over. It's Ottawa Senators hockey. Feel the excitement.
Dude, the Sens have been minus 150 favorites.
Every goddamn year, boys. This is what we do, right? We come in, we have a nice little start. Everybody gets a little excitement. Everybody gets a little bit horny for the team. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they go on a bit of a losing streak. 5 in a row, boys. No good teams in the NHL lose 5 in a row.
No.
We just lost 5 in a row. We're done. We're cooked.
Hey, there's still a lot of season left. There's still a lot of season left. You got Omar.
There's not. We're owned. We're done. Everybody knows what we are. That's what we are. We're a loser team.
Yeah.
We're done.
Loser fan base,
We're losers.
Man.
We're a loser team.
Oh man.
How did Vancouver? This is what I'll leave it with you, Kyle, because I appreciate everything you guys do over at Locked On Canucks. He actually just did a post-game show over there, so go check that out afterwards. But look, Travis Green talks about how he and Rick Tocchet, they see the game quite a lot, the similar ways. How did Rick Tocchet change the culture in Vancouver?
The Rocket.
Yo, that's I don't know how much that has to do with Rick Tocchet versus how much that also has to do with Quinn Hughes. Like this guy just manned the F up. He took over the team. He took it away from Miller. He also took it away from Pettersson. And that guy's just so serious about the game of hockey, So I give a lot of credit to a guy like Quinn Hughes. He's one of the best players in the league as well. Norris Trophy winner. Like when he got the C and then he teamed up with Tocchet, the culture really changed. But then I look at a guy like Travis Green. I mean, my only concern would be is he like one of those guys that's not too hard on his players and allows losers to like establish the culture where it's like, dude, you can't let the players do that when they haven't done that before. Like somebody's got to go in there and have a bit of pedigree. And Green doesn't have that versus Tocchet, right? Tocchet's a legend. Like, this guy's played with all of the best players in hockey, and that's not even an understatement. Like, look at the hockey DB, and then he's also been an assistant coach for a winning team. So it's different. They're different. Like, Travis Green may not be the guy to fix that type of problem in Ottawa, where, again, it just seems as if the players are not taking it serious. Again, it's so hard to win in the NHL. And I literally saw a team that thought they were going to walk all over the Canucks. You talk about that 5-minute power play. They're keeping it on the perimeter, not trying to do anything special. They had a full 5 minutes, and they were in the ozone for like a little bit of that. But again, you just saw a team that just took it too easy, and I don't like that. Again, I'm not a Senators fan. I feel bad for y'all, man, because y'all have lost a handful of games here. Like, just pick it up. Don't be the Ottawa Senators of last year, the year before. Like, do something on this Saturday night for Ottawa, and it was literally like a spooky watch.
They should have grabbed the bull by the horns on that 5-minute power play and just done it. Score a goal or two. I looked at my buddy next to me. I was in the building obviously tonight. I said they got to get 1 or 2 on this thing.
Yeah,
and that will make the game for them. And they just didn't do anything on that power play. It was brutal. It was actually astounding that they only got 3 shots on goal. I think Vancouver ended up with 2 shots on goal on that kill. It was like, dude, what are these guys doing out there? Like, feed the pill to the German and like let's get it going here. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's okay. One note on the how do you say his last name? Sutsla? I'm bad. I just started reading like 5 years ago. Anyways, that dude, he's a really great player, but again, touch it, like, he's electrifying. Actually, he's got the sauce. You can tell. He's just one of those guys. He's a mother effer, but I feel like he needs to grow up a little too. Like, he doesn't need to. I know you guys got a little lucky there. The referee totally missed it, but he just boards Höglander at the end of the game, gets a little distracted. Again, the refs have your back, give you guys a power play, but it's like, Suits, like, you don't need to go after Höglander. He plays 9 minutes a game. You want to go after someone to make a statement? Go after Pettersson. Pettersson rocked you in the first period. Do something more serious. And just those little things where I'm like, yo, there's still time left in the game. Relax, yo. It's like the Canucks have 5 defensemen. Noah Juulsen's going to play 20 minutes tonight. Like, y'all can do this. We have a goaltender that we signed at a garage sale at the end of September. It's like, yo, it's not over yet. I don't know.
No, that was frustration from Timmy Stützle.
I can't blame Timmy for that, because at that point of the game, I go like, Timmy's just gonna do Timmy. He's
especially after Brady's just had his emotional outburst.
And Brady did the same thing. Yeah, he ends up fighting. Who did he end up fighting?
Dakota Joshua.
Same thing. It's like the emotions just came out, and it was just like the Senators they knew they were gonna lose, and they were just like overloaded.
But maybe it all happened because we were trolling you too, like how we were delaying the stoppage and play. That was embarrassing.
Crazy.
That was crazy, and I honestly thought we were gonna like suffer some karma based on like the potential comeback from you guys, because that's extreme.
The right play. If you can it's like being the volunteer high school kid at a pee-wee practice. You're just getting your community hours in. You're playing keep away with the little kids out there, just trying to get them skating, get them moving around a little bit. And if the Vancouver Canucks can keep the puck away from you and just tick time down so that they can get this game over with, why wouldn't they do that? Like, for the Sens to be upset about that, that's, if you don't like it, touch the puck. Touch it.
Well, instead they took another penalty.
Yeah, Tkachuk, man, did his thing. Yo, Ross, to like touch more on the culture thing and who we brought in and whatnot, keep in mind, this team also hired Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin, right? Like, even more championship pedigree. And then you got Adam Foote on the bench as well, even more championship pedigree. It's different here than it is in Ottawa based on the personnel at the leadership positions, right? And I think when you have a team that's had such elongated losing, it's probably like mission number 1 to get some champions in the building, because it's hard to win, man. It's hard to win, and you need some of that.
They tried though, Kyle. They went out in the offseason. Nick Cousins just won a Stanley Cup. David Perron, Stanley Cup winner. Michael Amadio, Stanley Cup winner. They tried the let's bring winners into this suck fest and see what happens. They got a Hall of Famer on the bench at Daniel Alfredson, and the team still sucks. They got a Vezina winner goalie. Like, they brought in the winning guys, and it's not working.
On paper, it looks great.
Yeah,
on paper. Well, Kyle, we really appreciate you joining the show. Everyone can go check out for more from Kyle on Locked On Canucks. One love, brother. We really.
I want to say one more thing. Okay, to the Ottawa Senators fans, you guys are 8-11-1. You guys got a former Vezina winner. You haven't had crazy goaltending in quite some time. dude, it could turn around quick, man. And I just hope that when it does turn around, because Omar steals you some games, the rest of the guys understand that it's effort that's getting us through the finish line here. So we can't just rest on our morals and the skill set of this team. It's when you suck, you have to realize that it's really hard to win in the NHL, and you just got to get back to the basics and do it well. And you guys are just right now far away from that, and it sucks. But hey, winning can fix everything. Maybe Omar can give you guys some confidence. One love to the Senators fans, because I want y'all having fun, man. I don't like seeing y'all like this, man. Even you, I barely know you, Martian, but I don't like seeing you like this, man.
Hey, we'll see in the Stanley. We'll see.
It's tough out here, buddy. Listen. Usually, I'm not like this, Kyle. I'm not like this usually.
It's all love.
I'm usually the very optimistic guy, but right now, I've just been in this building tonight, and everything I've seen, I'm not optimistic yet. All of a sudden, I just feel it. You know, I've been here before. I've seen this movie.
All
right,
man.
Kyle
Wish
Ballard,
the best.
Locked On Canucks. One love, brother.
Thanks,
We'll
buddy.
do this again in a month when the Ottawa Senators take on the Vancouver Canucks. On the other side, I'm giving Martian 3 minutes of freedom. A 3-minute soliloquy on the Ottawa Senators coming up from the Martian. But first, Pillsy's got a word from our friends at FanDuel.
Yes, this episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, or maybe your team gets a 5-minute power play and you're feeling good about them, you can check the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com today to join. You'll start with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com.
Hello, welcome back. It's the Postcast. I'm Ross Levitan. That's Brandon Pillar and Lalime's Martian. And 4 gets a little hectic, so I appreciate everybody for sticking with us. But Kyle's an awesome guy. We really love the work that he and Trevor Beggs are doing at Locked On Canucks. So twice a year, the Sens and Canucks play. Thought it'd be a fun way to get him in the mix. And he's got some great takes, and I love his voice, too. It gets me so fired up.
The best, yeah.
I actually got to meet him in August while I was flying through Vancouver. He came to the airport bar, and we had a beer and had some good chat. So make sure you're supporting them, subscribing to Locked On Canucks, even though tonight the Canucks got the 4-3 win over the Ottawa Senators. Now, Martian, I will give you this. If you have to bounce off of us, whether it's, a question or a comment, we'll be there for you. But I appreciate the passion. The chat loves the passion. Like, where are you at while you're in the building watching this game? What are the thoughts that are going through your mind throughout?
Dude, I got really angry. I got extremely angry throughout this game, and it's not something that I usually do. I just after the third period happened, it's just like all of a sudden I just started realizing that this team doesn't have it, and for me that drives me insane, because I know that the skill is there. The people are probably in place who are supposed to be this core of this team, and none of these guys are performing, and none of these guys are stepping up to be what they're supposed to be. Brady Tkachuk, I'm gonna leave Tim Stützle out of this because he's the one guy who's been rolling the entire time. Drake Batherson, Josh Norris, all these, Claude Giroux especially, he's over the hill. It's it seems like all these guys who are supposed to be our top 6, who are the guys who are gonna step up and take the game and take control of the game, aren't doing it. Dude, they're not doing it. They're not going to do it. I don't think they have it in them. I don't know what it is. They're just all dogging it out there. I don't know what's going on. They're mentally screwed. They can't do it. Ross, they can't do it. I don't think they can. I don't think this group can do it. I don't think this group can do it, Ross.
Permission to jump in.
You're throwing at me? That was 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's pretty good.
Not even that they can't do it. Not even that they can't do it. They, as a team, they can't. That group of people can't do it. They have nothing going. They have nothing cooking. They are not producing. They're not creating. They're not defending. Everything that they're supposed to be doing as a group at this point in their careers. Listen, we've given these guys a ton of leeway. We've given these guys leeway throughout their careers to this point. Some of them are 6 years in. Some of them are 8 years in. Look at Shabbat. This guy's been dealing with a losing team his entire career. He's a loser.
By that, I mean World Junior MVP.
Wait. To this point, forget about World Juniors. Like that's like you could put me on that team, they'd win.
Silver medalist
Shabbat.
at the World Championships as captain.
Kachuk, Norris, Batherson, Giroux. These guys, none of them have won shit in the last however many years. However many years you want to go. They got a free ride right now. They're getting paid millions of dollars to do nothing at this point. So
now my comeback to that is the whole goal of the offseason was to insulate the core. David Perron has 0 points. We're hitting double-digit games. He's making 4 sheets. I get it. But now he's had 5 games in a row. He's out there. He's playing 18 minutes a night. I get it.
If we're doing this rant, David Perron is not a guy I'm going to spend a lot of time on.
Not a lot, but he's one of the players that was brought in.
Yeah.
Perron looks like a joke. Perron looks like a joke out there.
I'm willing to give him leeway, but
I mean,
post game.
Personal issues aside, but either what, on the ice, he looks like crap.
I'm more worried about.
I get it. I'm sensitive to that. I get it, but he's not doing well.
I think we can just go through all the players they brought in up front this summer, and they're not getting enough done. You can say, and I get it, the core has been here longest. That's going to be the focus, but the guys who were brought in to insulate them and to help them get to the next level have not done it.
It doesn't matter. They should be looking at the core. They should be looking at those guys. Those are the guys who are supposed to be the guys, right? All the names I've mentioned. It's Norris. It's Batherson. It's Kachuk. It's Stützle. Those are the guys. Sanderson. All those guys who are supposed to be the guys.
What do you do, Mark?
We're going to bring to the next level. They're not doing it. What do you do? Boys. We're screwed.
What do you do to make them do it or to try to help them do it?
How you can't make a dog who can't jump, Pilsy.
So what do you do?
I mean, you got.
Martian's going to trade everybody for.
No, I'm not going to trade everybody, but I think that they're going to be coming to a point right now in this in terms of this rebuild, right where we're at, where we have a bunch of guys who are locked into long-term contracts that are semi-decent, whatever you want to say. I mean, who's the guy that is the most tradable in your opinion? I got a name in my mind. To me, it's right now. It's if they're going to cut into this core and decide to wake them up in a certain way, it's got to be Drake Batherson. He's the only one who's tradable. He's got the best contract. He's got the best contract. He's got the best numbers.
He's your team better by trading him.
Do you not?
He's got 20 points in 20 games. He's third on the team in scoring.
I know, but what do you do though, boys? They're shit with him.
Yeah. I mean, I still look at more so
by trading him. That's what I'm saying. I think the rest of them would benefit from him getting out of there. Or I'm not saying that Batherson is I love Drake.
No, we're not blaming Batherson. I don't think anyone's thinking you're saying that, Martian.
I'm just saying he's probably.
You're just saying contract wise and player wise, that's the only player that has value.
He's got value, and you can probably bring in a couple of good pieces for him. And then you also wake up the rest of them.
What pieces? Any pieces they bring in have flopped.
Yeah, but we're in so much trouble right now.
I think I want to get off the trade avenue because they're 20 games into the season. A trade isn't going to happen right now. I just don't think it will. I think you have to look internally and say, how can we organize things to the best of the abilities of the team? And my number one issue is having a guy with 2 goals and 3 assists all season on the top line. I love Ridley Gregg. I think he's got great potential. He started the season as the 4th line center in the opening game. Why is he playing wing on the top line with Brady and, in this case, Shane Pinto? It just, to me, that makes no sense. There's this enormous reluctance to move either Shane Pinto or Josh Norris to the wing. And for a long time, I understood that. But if Ridley Gregg is your third line center, now he's slotted properly at least.
Yep.
And then you take your 6 best players and you organize them in the top 6, and maybe you'll get something cooking. Because for me, you're cutting off what could be a true number 1 line by putting Ridley Gregg there right now on the wing. I like him at center. The team clearly does too, because last year they made it very critical that he played center. And I know they were missing Pinto the first half of the season, but they need to organize this group of forwards better and sit someone for a game. I know Noah Gregor's got the non-contact right now. He's not available to be put in the lineup. I call someone up from Belleville to just at least send a message that just because you're in the top 12 up front right now, you're not safe. And you know what? I might even call up a left shot defenseman. I think Cleven's been great as a young player throughout the season. That's back-to-back brutal games.
Yeah.
Back-to-back brutal games.
He had a bad pitch again tonight.
That pinch was.
And that's what's cost him multiple times this year. It's a bad pinch at the blue line, and then it's an odd man rush the other way. I just think that right now, it's a little cozy for the guys who are in the lineup. Changing Hamnick for JBD, that's been the hot topic at times. And it's like, that's such an inconsequential 13 minutes of ice time. And we need to really change up something of a guy.
Light a fire on these guys' asses.
Exactly. How are you going to light a fire? That's the question.
Changing out a third defenseman is really going to light a fire on the ass of the guys who really matter.
No. I think you make a great point, Ross. And I think if you do move Norris or Pinto to the wing, it solves that problem the Sens have had trying to find that 6th forward for the top 6. So I'm with you on that. I mean, why wouldn't you try it at this point? But I didn't want to bring this up and I didn't want to have this conversation. But this team cannot function if Jake Sanderson is not able to elevate his game again.
Well, and with Jake Sanderson, same conversation. Artem Zub is unrecognizable since coming back from his injury. Yeah, unrecognizable.
Those guys were the bread and butter of this team's only hope defensively. Now, finally, Shabbat has a partner and a great partner in Nick Jensen. I've been loving his game. But if Sanderson and Zub, like they're not only playing down a level, like they're playing down multiple levels from what we need and from what we're used to seeing from them. And if they're not able to get things going, we got a big problem here because
you could convince me that Artem Zub this season has been Travis Hamonic without the slap shots. That's how poor he's been defensively.
And then look, and a play that like kind of encapsulated how embarrassing this team was too. Jake Sanderson, learning from his mentor and Travis Hamonic, winds up the biggest clapper you've ever seen, and David Perron lackadaisically skating across and it hits him right in the ankle, and it's just like that's a joke to have that happen. And I don't know what we're going to do if Jake Sanderson can't elevate his game. Now, I'm not about to rip into him completely because he's still a young defenseman. And he's been very consistent, very good, a huge part of this team for most of his career. But if he can't elevate his game, I don't see this team bringing it back. If Ullmark can't elevate his game, I don't see how this team has a fighting chance, sustainable success during the season. This team has, like, the top 6 is a major problem, the top pair has a major problem, and the starting goaltender, it's a major problem. Like,
I mean, dude, I actually look purely at the core. This is what we're talking about right now. Okay, it's the core of this team. Who do you consider, Ross? Let me go to you. Who do you consider to be the core of the team? And let me know how many of those guys you consider guys who are performing to standard.
Okay, well, why don't we go one by one? And I'll say a name, and you tell me above expectations, at expectations, below,
let me give you the names, and you tell me yay, nay, or.
I thought I was supposed to determine who the core was.
Well, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. Tim Stützle.
Above expectations. He's been amazing.
Both above?
Yeah.
Big time above.
Okay. Brady Tkachuk.
I would say middle of the pack. I would say
at expectation because he's still producing points. Sure, the tantrums are there and he's getting in the fights we didn't want him to get into, but he's still producing points. He's still out there hitting. He's still getting shots. he's doing what he needs to do, in my opinion, on the ice. Maybe leadership-wise, he's got a little bit more to learn, but on the ice, performance statistically, he's where he needs to be.
Leads the team in goals.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me stop you right there. The rest of the guys that you're going to name are below expectations.
Carter Yakimchuk.
He's right where we thought he would be, scoring power play goals. Yeah.
Hey,
Listen,
they could have used him. They could have used him on that 5-minute major.
Yeah.
The
As far as the core goes, everyone else is below expectation. The only player above expectation is Nick Jensen.
Yeah.
Pinto's been a joke so far.
Offensively, for sure. I mean, he's still, like, you can still notice him doing the right things out there, but yeah, offensively needs more than one goal for sure.
Yeah.
Do you really notice him doing the right things, though, Ross?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
He shouldn't be 15th on the team in scoring, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's just not producing. So,
well, and did we ever get information of what his injury was?
No, and he's not on the power play. Makes me think it's something to do that would affect his shot because they need his shot on the power play.
Yeah, and then they're not playing Josh Norris on his strong side either, which is
have we seen a one-timer from Josh Norris?
He's not getting played on that side. He's playing on the left side of the power play, which is the opposite side of his strong side. If he's going to take a pass, take a one-timer. I don't know why, but yeah, he's out there, but he's not. He's more of a facilitator in that spot than he is a shooter, which is strange.
Okay, so let's get back to the forward core and how to maximize the top line. Pilsy, what's your number one line in the final of this 4-game homestand? Because the first period may as well be Game 7 overtime of the Stanley Cup Finals, because if the Sens don't score first this year, they are 1-10-1 now or 1-9-1? Either way, it's a complete joke. I've got it right here.
1-9-1.
No, that was going into tonight's game. They are
1-10-1.
It's their November record from years ago.
1-10-1 when allowing the first goal, not the second or third in a row. When they allow one goal to start the game, and you know the one game they won, the LA game, where it was a complete gong show and everything was going in. They were down 2-0 in that game.
That's mental. That's purely mental, because there's no other team in the league who has that kind of record after getting scored on the first time.
And I'll put an asterisk on that. No other team that's healthy, Martian. Like, if you got injuries and you got key guys out of your lineup, you're not going to be able to perform. But the Ottawa Senators have no excuse when it comes to health.
That is
for those watching.
Boys, they got to find ways to win when they're down one. Jesus Christ.
Real quick, the numbers I'm pulling up here are before tonight's game. This is hockeyreference.com, so they update overnight. So 1-10-1 now when allowing the first goal. But on the contrary, they're 7-1 when they score first. So, Pilsy, what is your top line going into the first period tomorrow Monday against the Calgary Flames? By the way, I've screamed my migraine away. So that's the one positive. Send Central standout. My migraine's gone.
Nice. Well done. Happy for you, buddy.
It might be the Reese's Pieces.
I think my top line is Giroux, Timmy, Batherson.
I would not put Giroux on a top line. If you could, you'd rather take my pinky finger than put him on a top line right now. He's playing horrible.
Martian, he went 80% in the faceoff dot. At least he gives them a chance. He had a goal and an assist tonight.
I was there, Pilsy. I saw it. He was not good tonight. He wasn't good the last game either. He's slowing down. Let's be real. He's washing up a little bit. He's washing ashore.
I guess I don't want to have Brady and Timmy together.
If you're Ottawa Senators right now and you're looking at Claude Giroux and his output over the last 11 games, what is it? 1 point in 11 games, Ross?
Well, he had 2 tonight.
He had 2 points tonight?
Yeah, goal and assist. Pilsy just told you were too mad to listen.
I was so mad that I couldn't even listen. Seriously.
You know he's fourth on the team in points this year?
Yeah.
I think I've found my issues in the lineup.
He went 16 for 20 in the dot. 16 for 20. That's amazing.
Love his game right now. I don't love his game right now.
Who's your first line, Martian?
Yeah.
I don't love his game right now. Who's my first line? I would go. It would be Stützle, at center, and then I would go Tkachuk, and then I would go Batherson.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
I think Batherson's been performing in a way, but he needs to get going. He needs to do more. But yeah, I think that would be, for me, my actual top line.
Yeah, well, Pamo makes a good point here. He's like, look, Stone's slow. He won the cup as a first-line right wing. Like, I think what you need is Giroux to be that secondary scoring threat, which is why my top line is going to be
a lot of leeway in this market, and he's like at times.
Dude, he's fourth on the team in points. He's 37 years old.
That's fine.
He's other issues.
Getting power play time like crazy. He's also giving it away like nuts on the power play.
What do you mean?
Like,
he's on the second power play unit. He's with Adam Goddett on the power play.
And he's been killing penalties. Like, I don't know.
The puck up like nuts, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we
up.
No,
He's
I'm not
up.
with it. No, I'm disagreeing.
What's
with
your
you
line,
on
Ross?
G. My top line is Tim
Stutzla.
Stutzla. If Martian will ever let me talk, enough. I'll mute you. It'll be Stutzla, Tkachuk, and Pinto, because if Pinto is not going to get going, then they need to figure it out from there. And it also gives the opportunity to move Ridley Gregg into the third line center role, which is where he needs to be.
I would still move Greg to the third line. So I guess my second line would be what? Brady, Norris, and Pinto, I guess, or Pinto centering that line. I don't know. I don't even I don't have an answer I feel good about, honestly.
This is crazy. I can't believe it's come to this. We had so much hope and momentum going into this year. It's disgusting.
No, I think we suck, boys.
This is tough, boys.
I think we're in one, boys.
Well, it's not like they're going out west next week. Oh, wait.
We can't even look at the San Jose game and be like, we've got an easy matchup, because anytime we've thought there's been an easy matchup or a game's been put on a silver platter for the Sens, they've just fumbled the whole thing. Sure, they make it look okay, putting lipstick on a pig, making it look like a 1-goal game, but there's never any real substance there. They have no momentum to build off. The morale is so down. Like, we just gotta flush through November and then try to make up the ground after, because this team is cursed in November. And I don't care. You can be superstitious or not, maybe just a little stitious, but it's there is statistic data showing that this is what the Sens do. And it's in their head. It's in the fan base's head. It's in opponents' heads that the Sens are just going to suck and lose in November.
Okay, I have a question. Can I ask you both a question, Ross?
Yeah, please.
And I'll answer it as well. Do you guys
will.
Do you guys think this is a playoff team?
We have the standings up right now. The
No.
only thing?
No.
Don't work with that. Just
no.
Yes or no.
The standings are important when we're talking about playoffs.
Yeah.
That's how you get into the playoffs. We've forgotten how it works.
Are we a playoff team? Yay or nay?
Nay.
Hard no.
Nay as well. So what the fuck are we even what the hell are we even talking about here?
We're talking about a team that is underperforming. The only solace, if you will, that you can take into it, and I honestly, I'm starting to get upset about it too, is that at the end of the game, the deserve to win a meter is in Ottawa's favor. The shots are in Ottawa's favor. The chances are in Ottawa's favor.
Raise the banner.
There is just a mental inability to get over the hump. Look at the goal differential of all the teams ahead of Ottawa in the standings. It makes no sense.
It's hilarious.
The Bruins are in the last playoff spot right now with a -19 goal differential.
And they fired the coach, and the fans want to riot and burn down the city.
Crazy.
Ottawa's -3 and only above the Montreal Canadiens.
Crazy. We're in a really tough spot, guys.
You want to hear from Travis Green? I do.
We didn't even do our Central standouts yet.
My Central standout is Josh Norris for looking like this after the game, after taking that hit.
His nose has to be broken. No?
Yeah, that was tough.
Well, his lip, his nose.
I thought it'd be worse than that.
Wild. All right, let's hear from Senators head coach. Here's Travis Green.
Which is always obviously a difference between frustration and fragile? Are you seeing maybe both in your group?
Frustration for sure. I don't know if I felt like we were fragile tonight, to be honest. Yeah, frustrated.
The 5-minute power play that you had to start the hockey game or in the first period, how deflating was that, not being able to capitalize?
I wouldn't call it deflating, but we didn't get enough momentum out of it. That's for sure. It was first period was half of it was special teams. You'd like to have had a better power play for sure at that moment.
I know it's not a complete answer. You can spend 10 seconds on, but what needs to change with this group?
Well, hey, we got to play better. I thought we gifted goals tonight. Quite honestly, we gifted them goals, and give Vancouver some credit. They checked well. They're a good checking team. They've got some good habits in their game, but you can't in the NHL. You can't gift goals, and if you almost look at all 4 goals, like couple turnovers. You don't get it clear. You make a mistake. Those are gifts in my mind. If the other team's going to score, and you're going to make mistakes in the NHL. There's lots of mistakes made, but I thought tonight we gifted them some goals, and you got to play better, and not just. I'm not talking structurally, like when there's a pass to be made, you got to make the pass, and some guys are more skilled than other, but I just think we got to play better, and again back to the gifting goals, this was a tight checking game, really. At moments, there was some power play time, but we gave them some goals as well.
It's obvious your captain has passion. He cares, but he doesn't finish the game. What words would you have for him? Do you want him to keep his emotions maybe more in check?
Whatever Brady and I talk about, it'll be between Brady and I. But he's an emotional guy. I'm not going to take away his passion and his emotion. And we're going to coach Brady. Every player you coach a little bit different. But I'm not going to harness his, or take away his passion, his emotion. And quite frankly, it might have got us back in the game a little bit.
The way this team is playing, do you almost need to have more of that individual type attention to guys to get through?
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that goes on. But at the end of the day, every guy plays a certain way. Every guy has a potential to play too. And, in the NHL, you have to play close to your potential. And, but, you also can't just give the other team goals with simple, regular plays.
Where do you feel this team's mentally right now?
Well, whenever you lose a few in a row, I stood here and talked about it the other day about where they're at mentally.
A few? It's 5 in a row.
A lot of talk with them. But, the best thing to get you out of that or to help you with that is to win. But you don't just magically win because you want to. The other team's got a say in who wins and who loses as well. And, I've said it before, you can play well and lose. You can play bad and win. I thought tonight we kind of gifted that team some goals, and that shot us in the foot.
This group lacked a little bit of emotion early on. Maybe in the third when the game's 4-1, you can see it, but it just seems that it's not there early.
I think that's a bit easy to say from the outside looking in. You play the first period, there's 10 minutes almost of power play time. What is emotion? Is it the building getting loud? Is it scoring goals? Is it, play good hockey. Everyone thinks you have emotion, I guess. Did we have emotion in Boston or Toronto? No, we played better. And that's reality. You live in the truth, and having honest assessment in your game is important, not just from coaches, but from players as well.
There's a lot of nights where you've played with confidence. How do you get that confidence back?
That's the guy that gets the answer to that. He's going to make a lot of money. So it's not, you can tell someone to be confident. You can pat them on the back. You can give them a little kick in the butt, but confidence comes from within. And, each guy finds his own confidence his own way. And we're trying to help our guys with that. But this is also not just a teaching league either. You're here to play. And
all right, it's not a teaching league. You're here to play. That's head coach Travis Green, and some of those questions were a bit outrageous, if you ask me.
Where do we even start? Let's start with, we've lost a few games. Last I checked, 5 straight games, not a few.
250 minutes without a lead. Forget a win, a lead.
Yeah,
Where's that? You've lost
not-
5 straight games. How do you plan on turning this around? Like, there you
not
start.
scoring on a 5-minute major power play is deflating. I don't know, like that.
What's with the tiptoeing with the guys who are asking questions? What's going on here? Is our media that soft that they're afraid of Travis Green? Head coach Travis Green is going to rip into them if they ask a hard question? Dude, you've lost 5 straight games.
Just a few.
What's happening? Why have you lost 5?
And then he's getting deep with it. Well, emotions. What are emotions? I mean,
what's going on here?
We're questioning what the definition of emotions are. That's how low we are.
It's not even worth listening to. If that's the kind of questions you're going to get, softball city. Holy crap, dude! You lost 5 games in a row. Like, let's ask some hard hitting questions here. Are you worried about like your lineup? Is Linus Olmark playing up to standards? Is it like blah blah? It's all the same bull crap. It's the same thing over and over again. It's just garbage. I don't even listen to media availabilities anymore because of this. It's not relevant. It doesn't matter.
All that matters, the same things for 7 years.
Yeah.
All that matters is what they do on the ice, and what they do on the ice is shit so far. So until I see anything different, I'm not expecting anything different on the off-ice availabilities. That stuff, to me, I don't listen to it. I never do. I see Brady Tkachuk interviews, and I go, yeah, it's great. Cool. That is
unless it's on the Locked On Senators podcast.
Yeah.
Unless it's on your platform, which I know you're going to actually ask some fun questions where they're going to get a legitimate answer out of. But like, going forward from now on, as a fan, why would you listen to any of these availabilities and expect to hear something that you want to hear? You're never going to. That's the facts. It's going to be shizah the entire time, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get nothing. You're going to get nothing. You're going to get nothing out of these guys. You're going to get nothing out of Travis Green. You're going to get nothing out of Brady Tkachuk. You're going to get nothing out of Thomas Chabot. You're going to get nothing out of Jake Sanderson. Doesn't matter who you put in front of the microphone. It's all going to be the same cliche bullshit until they start winning games, dude.
Yeah.
They got to win. Winning cures all, and they have not been able to do it. The chat, the Ottawa Shizahs. Oh, that's great. And hey, this is a fair point here from Norak. The one guy who always asks tough questions in good taste now works for the team. They bought the media.
That's when you know things are bad. Yeah.
Oh my God. But you know what? In all seriousness, I do think this does kind of give me a little bit of wish and hope that one day, and it'll never happen due to financial circumstances, but it always feels, and the away team the media doesn't travel anymore as much. There's like 1 or 2 guys. It used to be the other team's media that doesn't have to talk to the same coach day after day that would come in over the top with the question that people want to know the answer to, but people who have to deal with them day to day and have a working relationship aren't willing to ask. So, and on the way to the room, one of the home guys could be like, hey, do you mind asking him this? That sort of thing. Like, we don't get that anymore, and that sucks.
Well, I feel like even Ross, like the away reporters are like, we don't even care about the Sens angle.
Yeah.
It's becoming a point where it's just irrelevant to cover the Sens if you're not a fan of this team or in this market, because what's the point? Where's it going? What's the story? How are they going to turn it around? It's the same Shizah year after year after year.
Pilsy, read out this comment from Mark, because I think he's got the answers.
Mark says, I think the solution is to hire a hockey, I'm assuming mind like Pierre Maguire.
There's no grit anymore, boys, in that industry. I think that they're all just going through the motions. It's easy for them. Something's got to change there.
Last year, the Vancouver Canucks embarrassed Ottawa on the night, or no, it was 2 years ago. Wow, time is flying. I was going to say on the night that Ryan Reynolds came to town.
Oh my God.
That was 2 years ago, unfortunately. Look, I feel like these emotional support groups, and we try to keep them under an hour during the week. But look, it's Saturday. We can let it ride here a little bit on Locked On Senators, because I got to honestly tip my hat to the chat, tip my hat to Sens fans as a whole. The fact that the numbers, like this would have been a huge win last year, 400 plus in the chat consistently over the course of the hour. I just think that it speaks the passion of this fan base. People want answers. They want to know what the heck is going on with this Ottawa Senators team. Why can they not get over the hump? What is the hurdle? And why are players underperforming both individually and in group settings? I think that you could do some very deep research, because we've had smart hockey guys on the show. Mike Kelly is one that I want to key on, though. Like all of his underlying numbers, and the Sport Logique stats were up tonight. I talked about how in the last game they were one and done in the offensive zone against Vegas. There wasn't a lot of cycle. They had 22 cycle chances tonight, and Vancouver had 6. They fixed that, but it's like they can't put everything together. I'm seeing a lot of SOS in the chat. Same old Sens. It's really infuriating.
Yeah.
You want to do a Sens Central standout from tonight's 4-3 loss against the Vancouver Canucks?
I think we've gone long enough. I mean, I don't know.
There wasn't one guy that stood out for you. I mean, they're presented by the Glebe Central Pub, so I think we got to give one standout as a team, maybe.
I don't know. I guess Timmy. Like,
he's always.
Well, I know Martian's going to pick Giroux.
He's always the guy.
5 shots, 80% in the dot, goal, assist. Played 24:05 tonight.
Now, what do you want from the old man, Martian?
24:05. That's got to be among the highest single game time on ice by a Senators forward this year. I'm going to find out.
Listen, I get it. Like, yeah, he actually might have had a better night than I thought tonight. But at the same time, like I'm watching it, and I'm just like, oh, he's just like a little bit of, he's a step behind out there. His
feet are, but he thinks the game's still where he needs to be.
It's the second most minutes the Senators forward has played in a game this season. Wow. Only Tim Stützle against Philadelphia played 24-30, and that was an overtime game.
All right, well. That's on me. I guess I missed the mark on that one. For me, I thought he didn't have a great game. But
so, Martian, how are you going to do better next time? Hey, we're asking the tough questions.
I'm always going to try to do better every time I come into the Postcast. I'm always gonna give my best effort. I'm gonna come in here for the citizens. I know there's almost 400 strong in here right now, and I'm always gonna try to do my best. So. For me, I'm just gonna keep bearing down and working hard and focusing hard on the games. Try to give my best breakdowns I can. That's all I'm gonna do out there. I'm a veteran of the Postcast at this point, over 100 Postcasts in. So I'm just gonna go out there, get pucks deep, and hope for the best out there. And hopefully the boys will, do their jobs out there as well, and we'll be all right.
Yeah. Tonight was the 232nd Postcast and our 111th loss. So we're used to it. What a spell check from DGL here, calling you Martina. Just switching the A and the N at the end. I like
that, Martina.
And that happened. Feller Pine Sens Central standout tonight is Eric Brandstrom. I actually meant to ask you this. Did he get a graphic on the screen or anything?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it if he did. I didn't see it if he did. I was in motion a few times during the night, so I was going back and forth between my rich people seats in the box. So I was going back and forth. So there's moments where I wasn't, but like as far as
it would have been first TV timeout is typically where they give a little hat tip.
I didn't see it.
Brandstrom got Shizah. Hell yeah, Owen. Hell yeah. Zach saying he did get a welcome back. So Martian, were you at the game tonight?
I was there.
All right.
Physically, I think emotionally and mentally, no.
Yeah.
No, I was dialed in, Pilsy. I was dialed in, buddy. You should have seen the seat. You should have seen the seats I was in. I won that seat to score contest. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, big contest winner.
Yeah, big controversial W by me, but 116 right in the middle. Honestly, I'm gonna say it right now. Best seats I've ever been in history of being at a Sens game. I had the best seats ever. Yeah,
for this game of all games,
dude. From there, I could see everything going on. It was unbelievable. I had such a good time. Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, you can't beat that. If I could pick one spot to get season tickets in my life, that would be the spot.
Okay.
Yeah, right behind the penalty box, about 10
it was
rows
unbelievable, boys. Unbelievable.
He was so excited about going to this game, Pillsy. You know that app that we have, Memento, where we track the games? He texts me and goes, "What's that app?" Like he wants to remember being at this game forever.
I wanted to memento.
Wow. He wanted to make a memento of this one.
I wanted to, buddy, but I'm not going to anymore.
No.
I did get a Shabbat.
Just one? Not for the boys?
I only got one. And honestly, I don't even think I would have got it if I didn't get it handed to me by some dude who just said it. I don't want mine. Do you want it? And I said, yeah, sure.
Really? Wow. And yeah, we can confirm Eric Brandstrom did get a graphic tonight and a welcome back.
It must have been quick. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Great bobblehead.
Though.
Hey, whenever I think about bobbleheads, I love looking at the box closed.
Can we break it out? Because I got a couple up here.
Yeah, break it out.
Watch the wrist.
It's an unboxing. Now it's an unboxing video.
There we go.
This is a great way to end the show. Oh, Memento reminds Zach that he's 0-6 at Sens games. Pillsy, have you been consistent with yours? You don't have this year's in.
No, I don't have this year's in.
I have mine. I'm 22, 11, and 3 watching the Sens.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, my record would be very similar to yours with a couple of road losses.
I am
4. I'm trying to think how far back I went for that.
2-1 right now this year. Oh, I gotta put the stick in this little puppy, but he's got a little neck guard on here.
Neck brace.
Adam Gaudet.
That's crazy. I'm going way back here. I
don't think that looks like Shabbat. Maybe a little, but the Timmy and Brady ones were better.
Look what you ruined, Martian. I could have had it right up there, the trio.
I've got the trio. And I'm going for the Sanderson.
It honestly looks a little more like Sanderson than it does Shabbat with the ears.
So imagine I broke it right now just by dropping it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got the goatee, it's got the slick back hair. But yeah, Feller Pine agrees with me. Says it looks more like Sandy.
Shabatsky. I don't know. I think it looks like Shabbat. It's the goatee kind of makes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a nice find.
It's okay. Yeah.
Pillsy, any final thoughts on today's show?
Final thoughts for me is I was prepared to hit the panic button, but venting through the vent cast, I've taken a deep breath.
Must win game Monday.
I will hold off for now because I feel like we know November is cursed for the Sens, so hitting the panic button in November is kind of a waste of time. So I want to keep that one in my pocket for when inevitably this team's going to collapse in a month, not November. I mean, I have a feeling if I even last that long, but that road trip coming up for World Juniors, I think that could get out of hand real quickly if things don't go their way. So right now they're supposed to be padding their stats with home games so that they have a little bit of a cushion for that extensive road trip, and they're not doing that.
If I could play devil's advocate on that, Pilsy, I think maybe getting on the road for this team might be a good thing.
But not that long. Like they're on the road a long time.
Long is good. Like get them out there.
Martian, do you remember this team's road record last year? 1-14-1 in the West. Is that the West?
Don't worry about last year. It's a whole new year, Pilsy. History doesn't mean anything. We're looking at the future right now. These guys, I think they know the difference between what happened last year and what they can do this year. They know how important it is. I think that they can still turn it around, but at the same time, I'm very pessimistic about what this team is capable of right now.
Pessimistic?
I'm pessimistic.
What do they have to do? Like how long of a stretch?
I don't even know.
You just need to see better.
I just need to see better. I just need them one game at a time, just to win the next one, and then we'll see.
Okay, I'm just going to run through the supers here just to give some shout-outs. We missed some. Everything was coming in fast and furious. Lots of strong opinions after tonight's game. Jimmy Stu, did we cut Brady from the intro? No. For the loser postcast, we go back to our old one with Jake Sanderson and Tim Stutzla. It's just, to be honest with you, a little inside baseball here. It's just uploaded in our StreamYard. So we just use that one because...
Do the people want the loser music?
No, nobody wants that. I never want to hear that again. And he wants you to hit the panic button, Pillsy. We just touched that. And no, Jimmy, we are not spinning the wheel. Not yet. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Adam. The Brady haterade is a bit much. Can he be better? Of course, but the entire team can. Y'all would praise him if we were on a winning streak. Relax, Sens fans. We have been very clear that we are a Brady Tkachuk podcast. We've also made note that when someone comes on the show, we will be their pit bulls. Sens burner, we already touched on this. Don't run Brady out of town. Negative capability says he stopped watching after the second period. Don't blame him for that one. Alex saying if he sees anyone blame Steos and Green after the same old game shows up, he's losing his mind. Clearly the core is not it. Shake things up. Bye-bye, Brady. Smell you later. So a little contradictory to our last statement there, but we appreciate the opinion. Alex. Buck says trade Tkachuk. Oh, my goodness. He's going to leave with Matthew.
Hey,
anyways,
Buck,
I'm not.
Buck. Let me just say it. Shit comment from Buck.
No, but hey, we appreciate every comment here. But however, Brady Tkachuk is not like his brother. Swanky Pants says boycotting watching games until they're above 500. Always locks in with us though in the postcast. Appreciate that as well. Anthony already answered that. They haven't had a lead in 250 minutes. Sens Burner says Martian needs a beer. Get one, fella. And then 21-5 panic button time. Alex, again, appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Burn it to the ground. No one's safe besides Stu. Martian, don't bend under pressure. Martian Brady isn't safe. We're the worst team in Canada. Montreal would like to have a word. Otherwise, yeah. Mathieu Larocque, just had him on the show on Wednesday.
Yes.
You can go check that out wherever you get your podcast. We're superstars for putting up with this. Why don't we just leave this one up for the rest of the show? But appreciate that. Appreciate Dr. JBN. Only a week to go in November. Be like Martian. Get heated and donate money to prostate cancer. Our Sens Twitter group is still going strong. Peter O'Neill sends a super sticker. Appreciate you, Peter. Long time citizen. Andrew says, loves the Pissed Cast, which I tweeted out as well. We're calling this the Pissed Cast. We are very upset tonight. Martian doesn't think the cup is half empty or half full. He just throws it on the floor with anger.
Or chugs it like a shot.
Yeah. Exactly. He just chews the glass. One of those weirdos. Clay, we haven't seen this. Fire the coach. We haven't fired too many of those. ... Not sure if that's sarcastic or not. I think Travis Green, 20 games in, I think his players have let him down, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'm pinning this on the players, man. And then always Sens feel bad for us having to cover this team through and through losses. Yes. However, we love it, and it is therapy for us too after a tough loss. I feel a lot better.
I do too, boys. I feel better.
Okay, we all feel better.
I was so angry on my ride home here. I was just so angry at this team. And it's
just
nice
let it out.
Just
nice let it out.
Just talking through with you and the Sens Central citizens in the chat. It's nice.
Martian, we talked about it. For men's health, when you're feeling down, you got to get together and you got to talk things out.
Sometimes you just have to do that. That's the only way through it. As one of my good buddies once said, the only way through is through.
What are emotions?
Oh my God.
That's the inside joke that I just put out there. But the only way through is through.
Mark Hamad is in the chat as well. Mark's our guy for the postcast on the stat card. We're gonna need a Ross Pilsy Martian update tonight. once he does update it, fellas, it's tough out here for us. Our 64th postcast with all three of us. And now, of course, there are one that we did with Jack as well. But the three of us, when we do it, 64 postcasts, 28 wins.
Oh, not close to 500.
It could be worse.
It could be
That's
worse.
pretty bad.
I was expecting worse. That's almost 500, Pilsy. We can get back.
That's not almost 500.
64?
That's like Travis Green saying we've only lost a few games when it's
Or
sitting
28.
at 5.
Pilsy, we're 5 wins away from being 500.
Well, when you two do it without me, you guys are above 500. You guys are 17, 12, and 3.
Me and Pilsy are amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You are. When it's just Pilsy and Jack, they're 3 and 10. 3, 10, and 0.
Jack and I we've slugged through some Shizah games.
How tough is that? Here, I'm gonna pull it up right now. This is where we're at.
Jack gets thrown to the wolves though, because sometimes
Yeah.
Jack gets thrown to the wolves.
Trade Ross.
Jack's the best.
Yeah, Jack's our guy. We appreciate
Jack's the
that.
best. We appreciate everybody for being involved in the postcast. Truly, it means a lot to us. Let's get some GSGs in the chat here. That's Go Sens Go. And look, I also found the 100 best, most powerful, inspirational quotes about life, success, and getting motivated. I'm going to start hammering one a day.
Good.
One a day. And
When's the timeline?
I mean, it starts right now. Let's go with Amelia Earhart to start. The most difficult thing is the decision to act. The rest is merely tenacity.
Okay.
Yeah,
That one didn't hit.
It kind of
You want me
rings
to
true.
try You want me to try another one?
No. We'll do one a day. One a day.
Some of these are tough.
It rings true though, Pels.
I think I might have to find a new I think I'm gonna have to try to find a new top 100 because one of them is Jennifer Lopez. You get what you give, and I don't think that's very inspirational.
That's where Martian got his from.
You can't be quoting people who are on the Diddy list.
Okay. Let's get back to another great episode.
How did Amelia Earhart get on that list? Jeez.
Yeah, no doubt. Jeez Louise. We appreciate everybody for being here. Locked On Senators. We have Andy Petrillo on Monday's show. Awesome conversation with my old host at TSN 1050. We have some fun with that conversation as well. For today, we say goodbye. We'll chat with you on Monday. We also have the Postcast Monday after the Senators take on the Calgary Flames. The Senators have not led in 250 minutes. They are 0-4-1 in their last 5 games. They're 0-4 in their last 4 games, and they are closing out a 4-game homestand. This has been the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. Make sure to check us out, the Glebe Central Pub at 779 Bank Street, and let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. The GCP, where the vibes are free. You can find them at 779 Bank Street, as I mentioned. You can also get tickets to the Send Shuttle for just $17 round trip to and from the CTC. We love our friends at the GCP. For the Martian, at Lalime's Martian, and Brandon Pillar, I'm Ross Levitan. You can find all of our social medias below. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.